Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Okay, today we're tackling something that probably drives a lot of you crazy in electric hobbies.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Battery charging times. You do the simple math. Say 5,000 milliamp hours, 5 amp charge rate.
Should be an hour, right? Capacity divided by current. Simple.
Exactly. But then it's like 90 minutes later, maybe even 2 hours.
Yeah.
You're still standing there. What gives?
Well, that simple formula, it's theoretical. It doesn't really happen quite like that in the real world.
Okay.
So our mission today is basically to nail down the why. We're going to unpack the, let's say, 3 big reasons: inefficiency, wattage limits, and those, specific charging algorithm.
Right. Okay. So first things first, that perfect 60-minute calculation, just forget it.
Pretty much, or at least adjust your expectations.
How so?
You need to mentally add a buffer right away. Think maybe 10 to 20% more time than the ideal calculation.
Why? What's that extra time for?
It accounts for energy that's just lost as heat. That's
Right.
inefficiency, your battery's internal resistance doing its thing, and also the final charging stages. They deliberately slow down.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. A built-in buffer.
Yeah.
But you mentioned wattage limits. That sounds like a big one.
It often is, especially for people running higher voltage packs. It's what I sometimes call the amperage marketing trap.
Intriguing. Go on. Chargers always shout about their amps, right? 10 amps, 20 amps.
They do, but the amps figure can be, well, misleading. Watts are actually the true bottleneck.
How does that work?
It's basic physics, really.
Yeah.
Power, which is watts, equals voltage times current, or amps, PVI.
Gotcha.
So your charger has a maximum watt rating, and that rating dictates how many amps it can actually push out at the specific voltage of your battery.
Okay. So the battery voltage matters.
Critically, let's take a common example. A charger advertised as, say, 10 amps, 80 watts. Lots of those around.
Yep.
Now, let's say you plug in a popular 4S LiPo battery. When it's fully charged, that's 16.8 volts. So you take the charger's limit, 80 watts, and divide it by the battery's voltage, 16.8 volts.
Okay. 80 divided by 16.8.
Yeah.
Carry the one. It's less than 5 amps, like 4.76 amps.
Exactly, 4.76 amps. So that shiny 10 amp sticker on the charger, it doesn't matter for this battery. You're limited to under 5 amps because of the 80 watt ceiling.
Wow. Okay, so if someone bought that 10 amp charger thinking they could charge their 5,000 milliwatt pack at 1C, which is 5 amps.
They just about squeak by, maybe.
But if they wanted to charge that same 5,000 milliwatt pack faster, say at 2C, needing 10 amps.
No chance. They effectively bought a charger that maxes out at just under 1C for that pack. Their charge time is going to be almost double what they might expect if they just looked at the amp rating.
That is a trap.
Yeah.
So the wattage is key, especially with higher cell counts.
It's pure physics. Higher voltage demands more watts for the same amps. But physics isn't the only boss here. The battery chemistry itself has rules.
You mean like how LiPos charge, that CCCV thing?
Precisely. Constant current, constant voltage. For lithium batteries like LiPo or Life, that's the standard.
So it starts fast. That's the constant current part.
Right. Full speed ahead, pushing amps in. But then it hits a certain voltage point and switches to the constant voltage phase.
And that's the slow part at the end, where it feels like it takes forever to finish.
That's the one. The charger holds the voltage steady like 4.20 volts per cell for LiPo, and the current gradually drops off. It has to do this slowly.
Why slowly? Why not just keep pumping amps?
Safety, mainly. Pushing too hard at the very end when the cells are nearly full risks damage, like lithium plating, which degrades the battery. So the slow CV phase is crucial, but it definitely adds time. A standard 1C charge almost never finishes in 60 minutes because of it. More like 65 to 80 minutes is typical.
And you mentioned balancing earlier.
Yeah.
That happens during the slow phase, too.
Yes, that's primarily when the balancing circuit works hardest, especially on multi-cell packs. It's making sure each individual cell inside the pack hits that 4.2 near volts safely and simultaneously.
So if balancing takes a really long time...
That's actually useful information. It's telling you the cells in your pack are starting to drift apart. They're becoming mismatched, usually a sign of age or degradation. It's a built-in health check, sort of.
Interesting. Okay, what about other chemistries, like NiMh, nickel metal hydride?
Good question. The advice for NiMh used to be charge them slow. But with modern smart chargers, that's actually bad advice.
Really? Why?
Modern chargers use something called negative delta V, or a Navi peak detection, to know when a NiMh pack is full. It looks for a tiny voltage drop right at the end.
Okay.
If you charge too slowly, say below about 0.3C, That voltage drop is too small, too subtle for the charger to reliably detect.
And if it doesn't detect it?
It just keeps charging. It misses the off-ramp. That leads to overcharging, overheating, and potentially damaging the pack.
Yikes. So what's the right rate for NiMh then?
For modern packs and smart chargers, generally 0.5C to 1.0C is the sweet spot. Fast enough for reliable peak detection, but not overly aggressive.
Got it. So wrapping this up, thinking about best practices. Even if a LiPo says it can handle 2C or 3C charging.
Which is mostly a statement about safety, that it can handle it without immediate disaster.
The best rate for long-term battery life is still usually 1C?
Generally, yes. 1C is the standard benchmark. It minimizes internal heat buildup and chemical stress, helping you get the most cycles out of your pack. Faster is possible, but it usually comes at the cost of longevity.
Okay, and maybe the single most important tip for keeping LiPos healthy.
Oh, absolutely. Use the storage charge function on your charger. Always. If you're not going to use the battery within, say, a day or two.
Put it to storage voltage, which is
around 3.80 to 3.85 volts per cell for LiPo. Leaving them fully charged at 4.2 volts per cell. Sitting on a shelf is terrible for them. It massively accelerates degradation. Storage charge is key.
good reminder. And for buying chargers, focus on watts first.
Definitely. Figure out the maximum watts you'll need for your biggest battery at your desired charge rate. So volts times amps equals watts. Then buy a charger with about 20-25% more wattage than that calculation.
Why the extra headroom?
It ensures the charger isn't running constantly maxed out, which is better for its own lifespan, and it guarantees you can actually achieve the current you want, even accounting for minor inefficiencies.
Makes sense. Build in a buffer for the charger, too.
Exactly. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Next time you charge a LiPo pack, don't just time the whole thing. Pay attention specifically to how long that final phase takes. You know, when the amps are low and it's mostly balancing.
That slow bit at the end.
Yeah, that duration. It's giving you a live, quantitative report card on the health and balance of the cells inside your pack. Watch how it changes over time. It tells a story.